Be better. Come on now. There we go. Nailed it. Okay. We've got a YouTube live happening, and we've got a TikTok live happening, and I'm gonna press go on Instagram in 30 seconds. But here we are. Thank you for being here. Thank you for joining in. Hello to Pierre and Pooji and Bobber and J-Man and Atios on YouTube. And then we've got a bunch of people here on TikTok. Hello, welcome. Thanks for joining in. So today we're doing something a little bit different than I do on my lives. I'm doing a 10-day back to basics challenge. Today is day 1. Okay, so I'm gonna go live. The official live for the challenge is the Instagram live. I'm gonna go live on Instagram in like 30 seconds here, and we're gonna keep that to, hi Alynn. We're gonna keep that to a 20 to 30 minute live on specifically about forward figure eights, because that was our day 1 challenge. Hi Amira, hi Yoba. So we're gonna keep that challenge live is going to be on Instagram. I'm going to press live right now. We're going to keep that to about 20 minutes. So for the next 20 minutes, I'm going to talk about figure eights. So if you have questions about figure eights, these ones or these ones, now's the time to ask those. Hi, Lydia. Hi, Tom. And then I'll close the Instagram, and then we can keep going for another like 20 minutes on TikTok and YouTube. So yes, this is day 1. So if you want to join the actual challenge, just head over into my bio, click the link for the Back to Basics challenge. It's free. You will join the email list. You'll just be a day behind because you're joining today. But just know I'm doing these live streams around this time every day for the next 10 days. So all of that information is in the emails. If you want to stay up to date on what time the class is happening on, because it's going to change depending on what day of the week it is. I'm going to try to keep them around 12 p.m. Pacific, so around this time. But tomorrow we're going to do 10 a.m. And then a couple other days we have a couple earlier ones. So feel free to join the Discord, which is linked in my bio. It's also in the description box down below of YouTube. Is it? I think it is. That's where I'll update what time the class is on. Okay, so is not captioned. Okay, so I'm gonna go live on Instagram, and then I'm gonna do my little intro, so don't make fun of me, okay? Start now. Oh my God, I haven't been live on Instagram in years. Checking connection. You are now live. Fantastic. Now we're live on 3 platforms. We've got a TikTok, we've got an Instagram, we've got a YouTube. I'm gonna just put a picture in my stories on Instagram of what my setup looks like. Quite proud of myself for that. I will have captions next time. Okay, so this is day 1 of Back to Basics challenge. This is a 10-day challenge. So every day you're going to receive a brand new skill, and then every day we're going to go live and talk about the skill. You can ask your questions. We can deep dive into it. Our first skill that would have been emailed to you if you're in the challenge. If you're not in the challenge and you're just picking this up, feel free to jump in. The link is in my bio. You can join in at any time. You just might be a few days behind in the emails, but you're welcome to join us for all of the live stream lessons. They will be happening around this time. And then I'll put the daily schedule in the Discord channel. Discord channel is also linked in the emails. It's also linked in my bio. So feel free to jump in. So our day 1 skill was figure eights. This is forward figure eights, and this is reverse figure eights. So when in the email, there is a tutorial for both forward and reverse figure eights. And today we're just going to talk about some of the things that I see within figure eights. If you have questions about your figure eights or about how to make them smoother, what you want to do with them, this is the time to ask. And we'll do about 20 minutes here on YouTube, Instagram, YouTube, and TikTok. I got way too many windows open right now. Okay, so I'm not going to actually teach the skill because I did do a whole tutorial and edit a whole tutorial for this challenge. So if you want the tutorial for the figure eights, join the challenge. It's in there. You could also join my Beginner Essentials course or my All Access Academy. Those will have all of the like full official tutorials in there as well. So talking about figure eights. So one of the things that we want to really stop, we're asking real questions. One of the things about figure eights is that you want to make sure that your figure eight, so that is your forward figure eight, and then the backwards figure eight, your reverse figure eight. They are the base of absolutely every single staff spinning skill you will ever learn, all the way up to professional level. Everything that you do is moving in and out of a figure eight in some capacity. So our figure eights, we want them to be mindless. We want them to be dialed in and downloaded into our body so that you don't have to think about them when you do them. And the way you get to that space is being able to do your figure eights without thinking about them in both hands. Side note, both hands, is you want to rep them out. That means you got to do thousands of them. I'm so sorry, but that's just the way it goes. If you were planning to learn a skill once, try it once, and then never practice it again and have it forever, that's just not how your body and your brain and your nervous system work. So my suggestion is to you is every day you pick up your staff, however many times a week or month you practice. I want you to practice your figure eights first. Make figure eights, and later on in the challenge, we'll do basic flow. Make figure eights your warm up. So you're just going to pick up your staff. You're going to warm your body up, shake your wrists out, do some arm circles. You can do some shoulder swing throughs. Oh, it's good stuff. Obviously, I needed to do this. And then when you get to your staff, you're going to just pick a number. So today we're going to pick 30. I'm going to do 30 forward and reverse figure eights in each hand. And you can count them as 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, all the way up to 30. And you're just going to stay here nice and relaxed. Don't worry about going too fast. You're just going to do 30 forward figure eights. This is your warm up. This is you warming up your brain and your nervous system to be able to do other staff spinning skills. This is also you warming up the skill and downloading it into your body so that over time, you won't have to think so much about this skill. And then you're going to switch. You're going to do it in the other hand. You're going to do 30 of them, and you're going to have a great time doing it. Your shoulders are going to burn, and that's okay because we're coming up to the summer season and you're going to have great shoulders and it's going to be amazing and you're going to feel so good. Okay. I do see a couple questions. I will get to them in 1 second here. Okay. So you're going to warm up with 30 forward, and then you're also going to do 30 reverse. Okay. And I'm just picking a number. I'm just saying 30. You could do 20, you could do 10, you could do 100. It doesn't take you very long to do these reps. Okay. And then just make sure you do the opposite hand. I haven't been counting, but I'm positive I did more than 30. And then I'm just going to do this as my warm up. So this is a part of the process of how I start downloading these figure eights into my body so that I don't have to think about them. Because we want to fill out and free up some of that hard drive space for the other more exciting skills so that I'm not thinking so hard about what I'm doing. We just want to be able to figure it. You just pick up a tool, any tool, whether that's a staff or a lightsaber. I just want to be able to pick up any tool and be able to figure it without thinking. Okay, I see a couple questions. What if you have bad wrists from martial arts? Your figure eights will help you. Oh, it's going to fall off the table. Your figure eights will help you rehab your wrists. Because when you think about the figure eight, I'm just trying to, so you can see my hand. So I don't have, a good question I also get that goes along with this wrist question is, how do I grip my staff? So I'm gripping between my thumb and my index finger, and then my other 3 fingers are loosely wrapped around my staff, and my hand is opening and closing depending on where I'm at in my circle. So at the front, I can hold on a bit tighter, but when I go to the back, I have to open my grip up a little bit, and that's okay. And what's going to happen is because these figure eights are just naturally and very gently taking you through a range of motion. If you have bad wrists or you have tight wrists or like immobile wrists, by you practicing these figure eights, you're actually helping create more active mobility in your wrists and your shoulder joints, specifically your wrists. So if you have stiff wrists or a previous injury with your wrist, what I suggest to you is find a staff that's really, really light. Okay, we do not need to be doing these skills with heavy sticks. No good is going to come from that. Okay, but I'm going to just focus on making my circles as full as possible. So if I do it facing you, what I mean is that I'm trying to make my circles as tight to my shoulder as possible, and really like let the staff do the circle of the figure eight. And that's going to force you to use a little bit more range of motion. Now, if you have stiff wrists, you may not have that range of motion to begin with. So for you, it's going to be a little bit of a playment in how can I loosen my grip to let the staff move, but then also find the fluidity of my wrist in it, because it's not so much like the range of motion, it's the movement within the joint that's going to really start to heal that wrist immobility. So finding the full circle with your wrist, and I even suggest that you warm up with wrist circles. We do that a lot in my classes as we start with wrist circles. And then just let yourself move through the figure eight without trying to overgrip your staff, and find the fullness of the circles. And then over time, you will find that your wrists will start to loosen. And it's going to take like a couple weeks to a couple months, but that motion, just doing this, is going to help your stiff wrists. Okay. I saw another question. I've gotten this into my fingers now, except for the back of them. I'm not quite understanding what you're meaning by your question there, Brenda. I saw another one. Will this ever come to the Olympics? No, no, it will not. How many things have you accidentally broken in your house? Actually, nothing. No, I haven't broken anything. I mean, there's a couple dents in the wall here and there, but I tend to not practice the things that are like big and fancy and dangerous in my house. I'll go do those somewhere else. If you're just starting, I do have a DIY staff guide. So this is a wood dowel. It's a wood dowel from a hardware store. It cost me $6. This is hockey tape, so just cloth tape. This is silver air duct tape. This is a piece of tape that says bow staff, because I used the staff when I did motion capture a couple years ago when they wrote bow staff on it. So this is what I suggest for starting. I don't want your equipment to be the barrier to practice. So just run out to a hardware store, grab a wood dowel. The diameter I use is 7/8. I do have a whole DIY video on how I make my staffs linked in my bio. And if you join the challenge, link is in my bio, I send you the link for that video as well. And then the other thing that I realize, not everybody lives in a loft with 20-foot ceilings. Alex says, how to avoid hitting your face in reverse figure eights. We'll talk about that in a second. If you are in your house and you only have, say, like 8-foot, 10-foot ceilings, go in the hardware store when you're grabbing your wood dowel. This is a 4-foot dowel. You can get a 5-foot, you can get a 6-foot. I wouldn't go lower than 2.5 feet, but if you have short ceilings, go get yourself a shorter stick. Okay, so these are my Kali sticks. They're about 2.5 feet, about the length of my arm. And you can just go to a hardware store and get a dowel and cut it to this length. And that's just as usable for you in your skills. If you do not have the space to be doing this stuff with a longer staff, because the longer your staff is, the more space it's going to take up. So if you're a little bit short on space, go get yourself some short sticks. It literally will cost you $6 if you grab dowels. Okay. You could go all the way up to 3 feet. 3-foot staff would be like a really nice length for a short staff. Okay. And then 7/8 diameter. So Brenda says, you mentioned fingers and wrists, but I find turning the staff over requires a touch from the inside of my palm, basically. Yes, that is correct. So just one more time before we talk about not hitting yourself in the face with reverse figure eights. When I'm gripping, I'm using most of the tension between my thumb and my index finger. So this is where I keep most of my tension. And then my other fingers are opening and closing to help give it space. And then I can also close my hand as like a throttle or a brake. So I can open and close my hand to make my staff go faster just by using the grip of my hand. And it is going to move around in your palm a little bit. We do not have the range of motion to death grip for our figure eights. Like even I don't have that range of motion. Like if I hold on to it, this is as tight as I can get it. Whereas if I open my grip a little bit, keep that tension between my thumb and my index finger, I'm able to let the staff move in space and it is sort of sliding on my palm. Okay, so the question was, how do you avoid hitting yourself in the face on reverse figure eights? So forward figure eights, for your knowledge, this is something you need to know. Forward means I send the top end away from me. So my circle's going down first. So the staff is moving away. Reverse figure eights is when the top end comes towards me and the momentum of the staff is coming towards my face. Backwards arm circle, backstroke and swimming. That's the direction we want to go. So reverse figure eights, if I do them this way, you can see reverse figure eights, reverse figure eights. What happens in reverse figure eights, especially when we're doing them with a staff, is this bottom end is longer than my arm to my hand. So if I did this with a shorter stick, I can do my reverse figure eights and go straight down the middle because this bottom end is shorter than my arm. But when I do it with a staff, I don't have that luxury. So what I have to do on my reverse figure eights is really make sure that I'm managing this bottom end. So when I come around the circle, you see this bottom end right here. It's the first thing that pops up on the side as I move into my figure eight. So what I need to do is this bottom end, if it's feeling like it's hitting you in the face, it means you're leaving your arm in the center of your body and you're not shifting your arm to the back plane quick enough. Okay? Because in your reverse figure eight, your arm is drifting from shoulder to shoulder. Okay? It's going to feel like you're painting side to side. So when I go from here, if I leave my arm in the middle and I hold on to that circle too long, it's coming, this bottom end is coming straight through the middle. And that could be my face if I'm not careful. So what I want to do is as I crest through the bottom half of the circle, I'm already thinking about getting this arm over to this wall before this end comes down. And then on the other side, you don't have to worry about it so much. But as I come around the circle, right here, as soon as I'm coming through the bottom half of this circle, I'm already thinking about get my arm to the back wall so that as soon as I start lifting up this arm, this bottom end comes down over here. Okay. And then I'm shifting side to side. And when you start doing your figure eights, I would rather see them way too wide like this. Like they're much, much wider than my shoulder, but I would rather see this than you trying to do them in the middle and being like, why is it hitting me in the face? Just go wide. Go wide to start. Find the timing of when you want this bottom end to come down around the circle. And then once you've sort of figured out the timing for that, then you can start tightening them up. But your reverse figure eights are always going to be as wide as your shoulder. Okay, so it doesn't matter how long your staff is. Like it matters if you have like a short stick because then you can just go straight down the middle. But if you're working with the staff, your hand is always going to be shifting side to side from your shoulder. And then as you get better at it, where the finesse is and where the speed comes from is I'm hugging that staff as close to my shoulders as possible. And it's going to be different for everybody because everybody's got a different width of their shoulders. And then really depending on how long your arms are, how long your staff is, once I can find that space where I know exactly how wide my shoulders are, then I'm going to be able to find the speed in my figure eights without really trying. And then it's nowhere near my face. I'm not worried about it hitting my face. That was a good question, Alex. Looking for more questions about figure eights because that's what our day one challenge. So if you're just jumping in, we're doing Oh, I saw that question on TikTok. I'll be right there, Miss Aftermath. So we're doing our 10-day back to basics challenge. If you're just jumping in, this is day 1. So our skill that you learn in day 1 is figure eights. If you want to join in, please feel free to click the link in my bio. You'll just be a day behind right now on the emails, but please feel free to jump in. So Miss Aftermath says, your reverse figure eights aren't just done on the side of your body, aka hip to shoulder, and don't cross over. They can be done on multiple sides of your body. So I can, when we get into basic flow, the basic flow day is like day 7 of this challenge, where we connect forward figure eights to reverse figure eights and back over. But your reverse figure eights, you can do them facing your figure eight. So I'm facing directly to my staff. I can also face directly to the front and then do them laterally. That means out to the side. So I can face them, be square to them with my shoulders, or I can open. I have options there. If I do them open like this, I can do them a little bit tighter because I'm not as squared and structured. So if I do them facing them, you see they shift a little bit more. But if I open my shoulder up and do them to the side, do them laterally, you can see that they're a little bit tighter because I just don't have as much area to cover. I hope that was the question you were asking. But the other thing I want to say is your reverse figure eights, our goal, where we're going to have the tightest, fastest, most efficient figure eights, is when your arm is right at your shoulder and it's parallel with the floor and it's straight. And then all of the circling in my figure eight is happening in my wrist, because that's where we have the smallest focal point, the smallest circle in our figure eight. The more you have to move your arm, therefore, like the more you bend your arm and the more you have to travel through space in your figure eight, the slower it's going to be just naturally, because you have the farther distance to travel. And I have a bigger area of my body that I'm moving. Like I'm moving my whole arm to get the figure eight done, rather than just extending, pushing away from myself, doing the figure eight with just my wrist. Obviously the wrist one is going to be faster because the circle is smaller. That may not be possible for you right away. Like when you're first starting to learn them, I'm not expecting you to go this fast. I would be happy if you're doing them like this when you first learn them. Over time, as you get better at them and you start downloading the skill into your body, the speed will come. Speed is a product of proficiency. Slow is smooth, smooth is fast. So I want you to focus on smooth first, and then you can start moving into the speed, because the speed is just going to be there for you when you become more proficient at the skill. That was going to be mine. Straight arm or slight bend is better for speed on figure eight. Straight arm, parallel with the floor. I do see a lot of people when they first learn figure eights is they try to do them down here. And again, you're just asking to get smashed in the knees, because that staff is pretty close. But again, you can't do them very fast down here. So the fastest is straight arm, parallel with the floor. Okay, so I feel like this is pretty good. Show some moves using neck with a bow stick. Okay, we're doing a challenge right now, so we're not working on that. Century, I'm just looking at more questions here. That's pretty thorough for our figure eights at the moment. Oops. So that's going to be it for our Instagram live. If you want to join the 10-day Back to Basics challenge, please feel free to jump into the link in my bio. We'll be back tomorrow at 10 a.m. for another live stream. Tomorrow, the skill is hand rolls or windshield wiper. So you'll get that tutorial tomorrow morning in your emails, and then we'll work on talking about the details in our live, and then I'll continue on live on TikTok and YouTube. If you want to share your figure eights, if you're part of the challenge and you want to share your figure eights, please feel free to tag me at michelle.c.smith in your videos, and as well Freestyle staff. That's at freestyle.staff. That is the way to share. And also all of the other details is going to, like when we're doing the lives, what the challenge is is going to happen in our Discord channel. So feel free to, I signed up but never got an email confirmation. Did you just sign up now? You should receive an email tomorrow with the first day. So yeah, if you want to join the Discord, that's where I'll put a lot of the details of when the challenges will start or when the live streams will start. And that's where we will put that there. So I'm going to keep going on TikTok and YouTube, but we're going to be done on Instagram. Thank you so much for being here. This was day 1. Tomorrow we'll be back for day 2. So stick around. Okay, bye. Share. Okay. Okay, I don't know what to do with this video after I'm done with it. Okay, I'm just gonna leave my TikTok there. I'm just gonna press share and see what happens. Okay, so we're still on YouTube and we're still on TikTok. Again, if you want to join, Chuck, say thank you to your wife. My hair's a little shaggy right now, but I'm actually like thinking about growing it out a little bit again. Hello in Calgary. I'm from Red Deer. Isn't that? And yes, so if you want to join the challenge, please feel free to, I'm just trying to put this live stream on YouTube somewhere. Okay, so if you want to jump into the 10-day Back to Basics challenge, please feel free. It's free. It's 10 days. We're going live 10 days. We're working on the basic skills so that we can, again, progress into the more difficult skills. Now that Instagram's gone, let's do the cool stuff. So we will be, I'm just trying to get rid of it. Put it somewhere, put it somewhere, put it somewhere. So we'll be doing this every day. If you want to join in, if you put in your email now, you will get like an email confirmation right away, or you should, and then you'll get the first email tomorrow. So you'll just be a day behind everything. That's totally okay. Just know that the live streams will be around this time tomorrow. The live stream is going to be at 10 a.m. And then also, if you join the Discord, the link is in my link tree as well for the Discord. If the time changes for the class, because it might, I will put that in the Discord. So if you want to stay up to date on when things are happening, go to the Discord. Okay. Okay. It won't let me. Oh, it's because my phone is frozen. Okay. So now that they're gone, sends your confirmation email to not my inbox. If you reply to the email, I think it'll send it to your primary inbox. Okay, now what are we gonna do? Now that they're gone, now what are we gonna work on? So I'm only gonna stay on for another 20 minutes. 20 minutes. I saw a question here. Oh, on YouTube. Can I ask your martial arts background if you have any? I do have a martial arts background. Sorry, I'm still trying to like get rid of the Instagram archive. Thank you. Okay. So I was a baton twirler growing up. Compulsories. Alex, would you do a set of compulsories?
If I remember them.
Oh my God.
I only did compulsories for 1 year, and then I did short programs.
Oh my God, I never did short programs. So I was a baton twirler for my youth and a dancer. And then I moved to Vancouver to be a professional dancer, got into circus, did circus for about 10 years. When I was doing circus, I also got into stunts. And when I started getting into stunts, that's when I started martial arts. So I was like 24 when I started martial arts, and I started with Muay Thai. So that's kickboxing. Because they told me, what I heard when I first started doing stunts is they told me that there's no women who can punch and look aggressive. And I was just like, watch me. So I got into MMA, Muay Thai. And then from Muay Thai, I did Muay Thai for about 6 months. And then I went to my first Filipino martial arts class, and we did Kali. And I was like, sold. I'm in. And then that was 16 years ago. 16. So I've been doing martial arts for 16 years. And then I've just basically just kept learning and kept growing and accumulating all the different styles that I could. So I do a lot of like JKD, Silat. I've done jiu-jitsu, a lot of boxing. I've spent a lot of time doing boxing. I'd probably say that between like weapons, Kali, knife stuff, and boxing are my strongest techniques. My kicks are terrible right now because I don't work on them. I've done jiu-jitsu and I hate jiu-jitsu with a passion. It's like, I have never hated a skill as much as I've ever hated jiu-jitsu, and I've been training my whole life. So yeah. Hi, Ben. Thanks for jumping in. Compulsories. So compulsories were, like I want to say it's like a routine, but it's a set of skills that you compete when you're a competitive baton twirler. They don't exist anymore. They changed them for like a short program. So if you know anything about figure skating, before they do their like big skate to their own music, they do a short program, which is basically a set of skills. So it's like a technical program. That's what compulsories were for baton. They since changed it to short program, but I had retired before they did short program. So I did compulsories my whole life and they don't exist, but they're like so very like precise and technical, and kind of hated them, but I was really good at them. Okay. Is there more questions? Dietary tips. Drink your water. Drink water. Seriously. Okay, so not part of university class. Drink water. That's my dietary tip. Eat protein. I'm not going to tell people what to eat and not eat. I think that's a dangerous place to be. I think that you should eat whatever makes you happy, but drink water. Drink water. Drinking water and being hydrated will solve a lot of problems. Let me say that. What is your preferred weapon of choice? I love a Kali stick. I love a stick. I love a stick and a knife. My knives are in my stunt bag right now, which is away. Kali sticks are my favorite. I think I like Kali sticks more than I like stabs, to be quite honest. Stabs are just longer and they take up more space. I taught us compulsories. I did teach compulsories one time. Really? It was funny. Yeah, I did. I think I did like, what did I do?
I think I remember what they are, but I don't remember.
Okay, like, I'm going to show you a set of compulsories.
No, baton.
I have a baton. Okay. Okay, so this is how compulsories went. Okay. What about swords like a katana? I don't like katanas. I don't like them because they're rectangular and they spin weird in the air. Because when you're spinning things, they also spin this way, like this way and this way. So when you use a tool that is rigid and square, it gets a jump, and I don't like it. So I'm not a huge fan of katanas. Is there a reason Kali sticks are shorter? Yes, because they're meant to simulate machetes. So these Kali sticks come from Filipino martial arts, where the topography was mostly in jungles. So you want something that's short and sharp, because if you have a big long sword in a jungle, you're just going to get caught on everything. So that's why they're shorter. But there are endless ways to endless amount of ways to fight with weapons. And that's why every culture has their own rules and things that work for them based on where you are in the world and what tools were available. Because a lot of the tools, like a staff is a really good example. The staff is a weapon because people just had tools, farming and equipment, things laying around that they could use to defend themselves. Same with like rope darts and meteor hammers. It's a rope with something heavy tied on the end. And that's where a lot of these weapons come from, because not everybody's going to have the ability or access to metal and swords. So that's where like bow stabs and meteor hammer, rope darts come in. We just talked about, are you proficient in combat or is your style more performative? We just talked about that. I've been doing martial arts for like 16 years. Yes, I'm a stunt performer, but when we're training in martial arts for stunts, we're doing it as if we're doing it combatively. And then when we do it for film fighting, obviously we change it. But like that's okay, Dennis. When you're training in martial arts, like you are learning it for real. You are learning it in the real combative application, and then however you change that. So compulsories. So this is what happens is you would be at a baton competition. You're on the floor all by yourself. Think like by yourself on a basketball court. And then you walk up. They call your name. They're going to be like, Michelle Smith from Canada. And then you walk up and you're the judges. You stand like this. And then they say, athlete salute. So you do the salute. This is Thad's favorite thing. You salute. And you always have to have your ball up. So the big end up. And then you put it behind your back. So this is your starting position for compulsories. And what this is like a set of 15 little combos. And then each 15 combos is marked out of 10. And then you get a mark out of 150. And then whatever that is your mark. And it counts for like 25% of your like overall score. So I'm going to do a set of compulsories for you. I haven't competed in 22 years. Okay, hold on. I'm just procrastinating.
You can always procrastinate compulsories.
Okay, wait. So this is how you start and end every single compulsory. Now, if I'm going to be working in my right hand, which is first, I have to make sure that my ball, the big end, is poking out of my left side. So I want to be thumb to ball when I start my compulsories. And then the judge or the announcer goes, compulsory number 1, begin. And then you do your compulsory. And then you finish. And then you wait for your mark. So they put their head down and they do a mark. So I'm like on the not carpet. There we go. Okay. So now it's compulsory number 2. Compulsory number 2 is the left hand. So now I need the small end on this side. They go compulsory number 2. Begin. So you start compulsory number 2.
Oh, I remember liking that one.
And then they give you a mark out of 10. Then they go compulsory number 3. Begin. And you're not supposed to smile. Oh, I almost hit my fireplace. You're not supposed to smile while you did this. You have to be very serious. That's kind of why I liked compulsories, because they told you not to smile. Compulsory number 4. Oh, I did the wrong one.
Did they play like classical music while you did this?
They used to play classical music, but they didn't start doing that until I was older. So like for most of my life, it was just dead silence. You could hear like pins dropping. That was compulsory number 4. I did the wrong lunge first. Don't yell at me. Okay, compulsory number 5 is fishtails. Okay. Compulsory number 6 is left hand fishtails. Oh, they're so bad. They're so slow. Okay, compulsory number 7 is elbow rolls. Oh, I'm still here. Compulsory number 8 is neck rolls. I'm not going to hit anything behind me. Sorry. Okay, I need more space. Fuck! What am I hitting?
You're hitting the blue stuff.
Yeah. Pretend I caught that. It's 5 steps. 4, 5. Okay. Poster number 9 is 2 spin catch left. Space. I need more space forward. Oh. I don't do spinning very well now. Hurts my neck. Had too much whiplash and concussions from stunts that I don't spin very well anymore. Compulsory number 10, one of my personal favorites. This is my favorite. Yeah.
Oh yeah, that's a good one.
I love the like arm circles.
Yeah.
We should make that a staff spinning one. We're gonna do compulsory number 10 with the staff. Compulsory number 11.
It's satisfying and like the backhand catch.
Yeah, because you do You do that.
Yeah.
And then you end in like a nice line. It's a good one. Okay. R.I.P. mantelpiece. Compulsory number 11 is a blind catch.
Clean.
Sick. My lunge was pretty shitty. Compulsory number 12 is my second to least favorite. Second least favorite. Yeah. Number 12. Ugh. It's just very precise. And then 13, when I was a kid, 13 was my favorite. And then I got older, 13 was now my least favorite. This is the worst one.
What's this one?
Flat tooth turn.
Oh.
This one. Oh. I just don't want to hit anything. You have to spin like this. Yeah, it's a 2-spin. For level A, it's 2-spin. In level B, it's a 1-spin. And then 14 always reminds me of Stephanie Hart. She told me, think about marshmallows. And then number 15 is my personal favorite. This is my favorite compulsory. It's also the hardest one. Here we go, last one. I'm out of breath.
This is the
back catch.
Oh, I hate this one.
I'm gonna do it again. It's my favorite and I dropped it.
I hate this one.
And then you finish, you come back to here, and they say athlete salute. You do this, and you walk away. That was a set of compulsories. I haven't done that in a very long time. I think the last time we did a live stream was the last time I did compulsories. If we can't make one day of the challenge, is it recorded? Yes, I will send you for the challenge. I will send you the recording in the next day's email. So you will get, if you can't make one of the challenges, you'll get all of them. I'm out of breath from doing compulsories. I think I hold my breath when I do them. Olivia says, I think my art piece is on the mantle. It is on the mantle. It's a little bit blown out because of the light, but it is there, right? Oh, there. Olivia made that one. Okay. I like smashed my finger on that. Jody says, former baton twirler as well, but the mediocre school band kind who occasionally dropped the baton and had to chase it through the brass. I mean, I've dropped my baton in competitions and it's rolled under the judges' table by their feet. You know that one.
Oh my God.
And then you have to like go under the table and grab your baton from their feet and they like kick it to you. Michelle, forgetting to breathe. How unusual. No, I'm like constantly holding my breath. Things I've learned for compulsories. 11 is my favorite. Yes. We do a lot of like in my classes and then in the academy and in our academy classes. This month with the academy, All Access Academy, links in the bio. You can join anytime. We worked on fishtails this month. So if you're an academy member, go back to the recording of this February live class with me. So in the academy, every month you get a live class with me. And this month we worked on fishtails, and then we also worked on half diamond step out. So this one. Oh shit, it's because these mic is here. Is what we worked on this month in the academy. So if you want to work on those skills, please feel free to join the academy. Have you ever seen Scottish mace drum major competitions? No, I have not. Blind catches are fancy. Yes, we talk about blind catches a lot. I do them a lot in my classes. We talk about whip blind, talk about underarm blind. Ugh, I am like not good at this today. In the academy, there's also a tutorial for half turn blind, which is kind of the progression into number 11. So number 11 is a 1-spin blind. In the academy, there's a tutorial for half turn blind, and then there's also a whip blind tutorial, and then there's a double level blind tutorial in there as well. So there's lots of videos in the academy. The elbow one blind, yeah. This one is a good one. That's a progression into 4 elbows, which I have a tutorial for. I just haven't edited it. Do any of your skills transfer to Callie? Here's the thing about sticks. Did you believe me if I told you I've been doing this for like 40 years? I can't fucking catch anything today. Jesus Christ.
It was a compulsories.
It was a compulsories. I revisited my baton days and now I'm a mess.
Compulsories just make you sweaty. They just make like the most stressful like
I'm
environment possible, and then they like now do these very specific things.
I'm having like PTSD flashbacks from my traumatic childhood. Okay, what was I saying? A stick is a stick. The length of the stick does not affect whether you are able to do the skill. The shorter the stick and the lighter the stick, the more you have to like really utilize your technique, but all of the skills are still available. So anything you can do with a 4-foot staff, you can do with a collie stick, you can do with a 6-foot bow. It's just, they're going to move differently based on their length. So the longer the staff is, the longer it takes to go around the circle, so the slower it is. And then these shorter sticks are going to move a little bit faster. And again, you have to really rely on your technique with the shorter, lighter sticks because they're going to be less forgiving. But yes, you can do absolutely all of these skills with any length of stick that we have. Do I teach Kali? I don't teach martial arts Kali in the academy. We teach all the spinning skills. So all of the skills in the academy, some of them I do with short sticks, like all of my horizontal tutorials are with Kali sticks. So there's a whole horizontal section. I do most of the tutorials with the staff, but again, if you can do them with staff, you can do them with short stick. And depending on how much space you have, because like I said at the beginning, the longer your stick is, the more space it takes up. So if you are short on space, you're in your living room and you don't have that much space and you have a 4-foot bow or a 5-foot bow, you're probably not going to be able to do much. But if you go get a short stick, you'll be able to do everything. Do you like bow and arrow? I've never really spent much time doing archery. Never really like had the impulse or the inspiration to. Here's the thing about sticks. I might use that later. Thank you, Eric. Okay, is there any other questions before we go? Anything else? Any requests? I think we could do that. Eric says, can you turn that, here's the thing about sticks, toss into one of those viral videos where people stitch in and catch the stick and toss it somewhere else? We could absolutely do that. We could do. How do you do the elbow into shoulder roll? That could be a lot of things. Elbow into shoulder roll, elbow into shoulder roll. There's a lot of ways. Can you show the hand placement with fingers again for the figure 8? So my grip for figure 8 is, I'll go with a longer stick. I have the thumb and my index finger is where most of my tension is. My other fingers are just lightly wrapped around the staff, and then I'm opening and closing my hand. If I do the figure 8, you can see that my stick is moving in my hand, and then most of my tension is here so that it's not sliding, because we don't want the stick to be sliding. Okay, so it's just hanging out in the middle. And that's your grip. I hope that was what you were asking. Do you have a favorite spin that you do? Not really. Actually, no, I do enjoy rolls. So anything to do with the staff moving on the body without touching it with your hands is my favorite thing to do. I find them, I'm going to do this while I elbow pop. I find rolls to be quite soothing. And they force you to really like pay attention and be subtle.
with your movement, and you have to be really present with them. I will turn back around at some point. But they take a lot more focus and presence than the other skills, and I think that's why I like them. And they're also harder. So any of the rolling skills where you're not moving your hands are going to be significantly more difficult than your other skills in there. And so I think that's why I like them the most. Have you ever done tournaments with a staff? I was a world champion baton twirler. I have done many a competition with a stick. It was very stressful. I did not enjoy competition. I enjoyed the making up of routines. I hated competing them. Is the first step to doing rolls in the wrist area like the nunchuck? Yes, and if you join, that's a perfect segue, because if you join my 10-day Back to Basics challenge, today was day 1 with figure eights. Tomorrow is day 2 with hand rolls. And hand rolls are your gateway into rolls. So hand roll is the first roll that we learn because it rolls on top of your hand. And hand rolls lead you into hand roll 8s, which leads you into fishtails. That was a shitty fishtail. Leads you into fishtails, which leads you into wrist elbow hybrid. It gets you into a lot of things. So those hand rolls are super important and they're a nice party trick. So if you want to join the challenge, tomorrow's hand rolls and you get a hand roll tutorial. You should try it with the staff. It's a good time. How was stunt work? Stunts or stunts? Stunts. It feels like stunts doesn't exist right now because the film industry is so slow. I've never seen a fishtail before. Fishtails are fun. And we did fishtails in the Academy Live class. So there is a full fishtail lesson in my Academy right now. And then I do have a 0 to fishtail tutorial series on YouTube. And then I'll have a new updated one in the Academy in a little bit. I just have to edit the videos. Yeah, staff hand rolls will make nunchuck hand rolls a breeze and they're super satisfying. I agree. I agree. All right. I think that's it for now. If you want to join the challenge, it's free. So today was day 1, but you can join in anytime. You'll just be a little bit behind in the emails, which is totally fine, but you're welcome to join these live streams. So I will be doing a live stream every day for the next 10 days for the challenge. There's also a plethora of different classes and courses you can take. Everything is linked in my bio. I do have a 6-week online class starting at the end of April. So that's over Zoom where I can see you, you can see me, we can talk to each other. That's over Zoom. Oh, I have a hat. I have a hat. And then there's a bunch of different one-time purchase courses that you can purchase in my bio. A really good one to start with is the Beginner Essentials and the Toss and Catch Essentials. You can also join the All Access Academy, which gets you access to everything. Every single tutorial I have in the Freestyle Staff Academy, the All Access Academy gets you into that. So please feel free to go to the link in my bio. Just go and click on things. And yeah, I will be back tomorrow for day 2 of our challenge. I'm going to do it over on Instagram and maybe TikTok, maybe YouTube. One of the two. It'll be on Instagram and one of the other two. So join the Discord. The link is in the bio to figure out where to go and what time. It'll be at 10 a.m. tomorrow. So 2 hours earlier than it started today. And I think that's it. Please feel free, if you're joining the Discord, to send a hello and introduce yourself. We love to see new people in there. And tag me in all your videos. If you want to post videos of the challenge that you're participating in with us, tag me on Instagram, and I will repost it and I will say great job and I will watch it. All right. That's it for today. Thank you so much for being here and I will see you tomorrow. Okay, bye. Okay, bye.